well, it is time for Ask the Derm. Board-certified dermatologist Dr. Billy Groff from Cosmetic Laser Dermatology is here with us to answer all of your skin questions. It's summertime and people just always want to be glowing, but let's go ahead and take a look at this first question. So this one says, I recently got bit by my boyfriend's dog. What's the best way to treat my scar? This is Jordan from Cardiff, and that does not sound like fun.
No, you got to be really careful with dogs. I mean, I think, judging by this picture, what a lot of people do when they first meet a dog is they tend to bend over and put their face in the dog's face, and dogs don't like that, particularly if they don't know you, obviously. So, but in this case, she's got a nice, well, not nice, but a worrisome little bite there. And so obviously it needs to be stitched up. But once it's stitched up and the stitches are removed, usually after about 5 to 7 days, if you really want to minimize that scar, we can use a couple different lasers and virtually eliminate the appearance of the scar if we start on it early. A common misperception is that with a wound like that, you should wait a year or so until you do any interventions such as lasers. But really, studies have shown that the earlier we start treating these scars, you get a much better outcome. So we want to laser those as quickly as possible.
And you know, there's so many things that you can buy at the drugstore. Are those just, they don't really work? Are they just there to kind of say, well, you could use this, but they're not really going to work?
That's a great question, actually. Some of the things do help, like the silicone gel sheeting, that definitely works. And there's some other over-the-counter products, but there's certainly plenty out there that don't work. So the best thing is to ask your dermatologist, and they can kind of guide you in the right direction as far as topicals.
Okay, we've got another question, another dog question. This is interesting. I don't know if you can help with this, actually. I noticed my dog has a growth on her belly. I know you're not veterinarians, but could you help? This is Sally from La Jolla.
Very interesting. I don't know if you know, but I originally was going to be a veterinarian, but I switched over to, human medicine at one point. But that spot on that dog is very concerning, actually, and dog skin isn't that much different than humans. In other words, if they get a lot of sun exposure, particularly in a white dog like that, they can get skin cancer just like we can. So you can see, if you look at the belly of that dog, there's this nodular growth. That is very suspicious for skin cancer. Oh. So yeah, you can see it looks like
Do you treat it the same as you would human skin cancer? So you could go to a veterinarian and get it removed just like you would a dermatologist?
You would biopsy it and find out exactly what kind of cancer it is, and then you would cut it out like you would on human skin.
Oh, wow.
But the important point to make is they now make sunblocks for dogs.
Really?
So, yeah. If you go to PetSmart, any of the pet stores, they have sunblock for dogs, but you can actually use human sunblock on dogs. Okay. Anything you use on your baby, you can use on a dog or a puppy.
Yeah, you learn something new every day. Okay, let's get to this next question. He says, with this humid weather, my son is experiencing these brown patchy spots on his back. What can I do to help? Oh, and this is Amy from Hamul.
Okay, good. Let's take a look. So it looks like
are those sunspots?
Well, the sun can play a role, but actually what this is a condition called Tinea versicolor, and it's an overgrowth of fungus or yeast on this patient's skin. And that yeast produces an acid-like bleach that will bleach out the skin. Huh. So, of course, we want to treat this, and what we treat it with is topical anti-fungal. Sometimes we can use pills to cure the rash as well. Okay.
That sounds like, something that seems simple, but when you look at it, it probably is pretty scary, especially for a mom. Yeah, for sure. Okay, let's look at this next question before we go. She's asking you, the red parts of my lips are wrinkly. Is there anything I can do to smooth them out? Tina from Hillcrest.
Let's take a look. So Tina has nice volume in her lips, but there is some, I guess, kind of wrinkling and textural changes, probably from, she's probably in her maybe 30s, and the sun exposure has caused some wrinkling. So one thing we can do to get a longer lasting effect is to put just a slight amount of filler in the lips, which will give a slight augmentation like in this patient, but see how it smooths out the wrinkling of the lips. And
so this is someone you worked on?
Yeah, this is someone who I injected, I used a product called Juvederm, and I just injected a small amount into her lips, which you can see smoothed it out nicely, and just gave her a little bit of extra volume, but looks very natural. Okay, smooths it out. The chapstick won't just work for her, huh? Well, maybe for a few minutes.
we only could hope so, right? Okay, we'll get in touch with Dr. Groff. Thank you so much for all of your advice. Sure. All the info is right there on your screen, and we have it linked to fox5sandiego.com. All you have to do is click on that Scene on Top tab. Shelly, back to you.